automotive reviews, and we have here the 2021 BMW M3. Now, whenever a new BMW M3 is on the verge of being launched, the automotive scene holds its breath, and for good reason. Pretty much all generations of the M3 have been the very best in class, at least when each one was first introduced. So people are expecting this new M3 based on the new G20 3 Series to continue that tradition, and it will continue the tradition. I've driven a 3 Series, and the quality is second to none, folks. Now, the formula for the new M3 is predictable, though BMW will plunk it in its new 3.0 liter twin turbo straight six, codenamed S58. Its body will be wider and lower to the ground compared to the normal 3 Series, and its interior will receive a sporty makeover too, complete with body-hugging sport seats, a unique steering wheel, and details to remind its future owner that he or she has bought something quite special. And that's what it's all about, folks. When I driven the new 3 Series 330i, the quality and everything else was second to none. Everything was top notch. I mean, even though it was a base model 3 Series, it had all the features in the interior. Everything was just tight, and everything was well put together. There was no sounds in the cabin or anything of that nature. So you know this M3 is going to be second to none. Now, one major change that is set to be operated to its now traditional formula will be the addition of all-wheel drive. Watch out, baby. This is the first for an M3, and if it is anything like the system fixed to the M5, which it most likely will be, then it will still feel like a rear-wheel drive vehicle, but be more capable in the wet and generally in low grips conditions. And boy, this is going to be a pleasure to drive. This M3 is going to be a super pleasure. I can't wait to see the reviews on this baby. Now, on top of all this, BMW has chosen to differentiate the M3 fascia compared to that of a regular 3 Series even more by fitting it with a unique kidney grille design. This, along with the addition of all-wheel drive, is bound to stir up some controversy, and this only makes us even more eager to see how the car will be received. And boy, I am ready to receive this baby with great responsibility, because that car note is going to be a mother. Now, the new BMW M3 will have bulging wheel arches to accommodate the motorsport version of the 3 Series, increased track width, and wider wheels. Now, to a person that loves cars, this wider stance will make the new M3 instantly pop, because it makes the regular sedan on which it is based look tame and mild. It's what BMW does with all of its motorsport models, and it's a strategy that never fails to add that visual punch. I mean, it's going to be off the chain. When I worked at Reasonport Motor Cars, which sell BMWs, I always thought that M3 was something to lust for. But for some reason, I never had that $90,000 in my pocket to make that move, because ones that are well equipped always was in the $90,000 range. And boy, if you obtain it, I tell you, you obtain something special. Now, the BMW M3 will also feature some sort of vent on the front fender, as you see here. Now, A real one, not a fake, as it is often the case nowadays, even on the performance cars. In the rear, there's no reason why BMW couldn't give it a small trunk lid spoiler. Although it may not come as standard, but available as an option, or comes standard on the more hardcore M3 competition model. Now that would be a beauty to be able to have an M3 competition model. Now the M3 bigger wheels will also help set it apart, as with the bigger brakes and the contrasting colors. In the lowered ride height. Finally, unique paint finishes will be available to complete the motorsport makeover. Now, actually, there's one more thing that is pretty major. BMW has chosen to differentiate the new M3 fascia much more than ever before. You may remember the two-door BMW Concept 4 design study that was recently revealed. Aside from the fact that it really looks excellent from pretty much all angles, it has a unique front fascia that got people talking, not in a flattering way, but you know what? It's gonna grow on them. I mean, I love this grill. This grill speaks volumes. It lets the world know that I have an M3 and I mean business. And please, please, nicely, get out of the left lane. I got stuff to do. I got people to see, places to go. I got experiences that are waiting for me. Please move out of my way if you don't know what you're doing. The new BMW M3. It is an awesome car, folks. And that front fascia says exactly that. And you look at that, you got the motion sensors, and who knows where they're gonna put the the cameras. And I know they would be up here, drive assist, lane keep assist, semi-autonomous driving, all that right up here. And there used to be a sensor down in the grill, which you don't see on this rendition. Now let's look at the interior design, and let's go in this direction. Now BMW has really moved the game on with the G23 series interior. It has a fully digital gauge cluster that the M3 will get unique graphics and quite possibly extra options too. The steering wheel will also get a makeover. That is the standard 3 series. It will look a lot like the steering wheel in the new M8. Complete the two red M buttons placed right next to the shift pedals, along with a special wheel. The M3 will have a unique knob atop of the gear lever for both manual and automatic versions. You can't really see it here though, but what you can see is that they covered up the M wheel, the logo here. They didn't want you to see something. Beside that, and I think this could be a launch control button. I see that on all the top end luxury cars, the launch control button. I think the Bugatti has a launch control button right here. This is very, very sharp, folks, but this is a standard 3 series, as I can remember. The grills, the display, the doors, the sides, everything's about it. Now seats are another area where the M3 will be better and sportier than the regular 3. The M3 seats will look considerably sportier than even those in the M340, and that's going to be a blast. Currently, the M340 is the fastest 3 series you can buy, not counting the new Alpina B3. Special bits of trim and the M logos and badges will make the M3 interior feel that extra bit more special. Oh, and BMW also gets the latest M car, a red starter button, to complete the motorsport interior makeover. Now you can't see that here, but it would be down here. But on some cars like Audi, they actually put the starter button up here, which has a more sportier thing to it. Now, let's look at the gadgets. Now, aside from being a hardcore performance version of the 3 Series, the M3 is also a flagship model in terms of equipment. It comes with plenty of standard features, many of which are optional on the lesser models. It will have the 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster as standard, and will as a larger 12.3-inch infotainment screen, that's what you see here. BMW calls this the live cockpit. Now, electric heated front bucket seats are also among the standard features, plus front and rear parking sensors for most markets. It also comes with performance enhancing standard features too: adaptive M suspension, an active electronically controlled M limited slip differential that becomes more aggressive when a car is in the sportier modes. Now, one feature the new M3 has that the old F30 base model doesn't is what is called drift mode. Because the G80 M3 will have standard all-wheel drive, BMW will allow future owners to slap any kind of power being sent to the front wheels through the press of a button. This feature is already present in the M5, and it really allows for some crazy tail-out antics. Now, as far as performance, BMW will offer the M3 in 2 flavors. From launch, there will be the standard version with the 473 horsepower, but those looking for more will be able to opt for the 503 horsepower M3 competition. And I'm thinking that's going to cost an extra $10,000. Now, you're going to get the manual and automatic versions will most likely be offered. Although this has not been officially confirmed, there is a chance you won't be able to get the car with the stick. Now, all-wheel drive will be standard on all models, but we shouldn't rule out the fact that BMW could launch a more hardcore lightweight version of the M3 in the future. This could ditch the all-wheel drive in a quest for lightness and sportiness. Now, the M3 sprints to 62 miles per hour will definitely drop under 4 seconds, even in the regular power model. Now, the M3 competition might even be able to go even lower than 3.5 seconds, thanks to the extra power and the extra traction of the all-wheel drive. Now, as far as safety, now all M3s will come with BMW Active Guard Plus, fitted as standard. It includes front collision warning and brake intervention and pedestrian recognition, lane departure warning, and speed limit recognition. The car will slow down when cruise control is enabled, and it detects a lowering of the speed limit. Now, that is awesome, folks. The M3 biggest safety feature are in its super sharp handling, thanks to the sticky tires that provide a lot of grip. The beefed up M brakes and all-wheel drive, which is sure to make the car is much more manageable. A fast driver and sheer agility. A car that is sorted and powerful. The car is awesome, folks. Now, BMW hasn't gone crazy with power. The new M3 has enough to go against the strong contenders in its class. It has given the car all-wheel drive. That's sure to upset those who say sending power to the front wheels ruined the feel of the steering. The car is just an evolution of the M3 formula, grafted onto the G23 series. And there's nothing wrong with that. That makes an awesome formula. There's a lot to like about the M3, but it's never, in its history, had a polarizing face. Now it does. BMW has taken quite a big gamble with that front beautiful fascia. And for the first time ever, people might be put off by the way the car looks and chose a rival model instead of solely based on aesthetics. But I am very, very sorry. There is no rival model that tops these looks. Nothing. The Audi is nice, but the BMW has always been over the top. This is AO Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. And just remember, too, that this channel would be nothing without you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the AO family.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.